Hello, and you join us for, well, it's our thoughts on Doctor Who again, but of course with the latest announcement that was made, about 2 hours ago now?
Federer won.
Did he win?
I think. I was half watching the end of Wimbledon. By watching it, I play everyone while I was playing something else and listening.
Yes. I'm willing to bet
They
that
all look the same to me, the tennis players.
I'm willing to bet, though, that the viewership for the men's final is a lot
I
higher than
swear
some people
Subaka was
expected.
trolling people. Just everything she said was very slow. Like she's just trolling people. Yeah.
Well, yeah, because the whole thing is it only went through 3 sets. So it ended a lot quicker than people expected.
Yeah, and it's just the whole thing, and just you know what we're here to do. Just get on with it.
To be fair, she even said the main number that everyone's talking about now is 13.
Yeah.
So we have had the revelation of who the 13th Doctor will be.
And Tumblr won.
To the surprise of some, but
not
also
me.
not the surprise of many, we have our very first female Doctor.
Who I have no idea who she is.
She is Jodie Whittaker, and I've actually seen her in a few things.
I saw her face. I was like, "Oh, who's that?"
I've seen her in a couple of things. She was. It's quite interesting actually because she had a big role in Broadchurch, the ITV detective show.
Yeah, I heard she was in that.
She was in all 3 seasons of it, and of course, who wrote Broadchurch?
I don't know.
Chris Chibnall,
Oh.
who is also now going to be.
I want to ask something about Chris Chibnall. I read something online. Carry on. I'll ask later.
That's right. He's also now the new lead writer.
Nepotism.
No, it's not nepotism. He's worked with her before, which does suggest good things. It means they've got a good working relationship, which you kind of need between your lead writer and your lead actor in like a kind of drama series. I've seen her. I saw her she was in an episode of Black Mirror.
I keep meaning to watch that.
It's really good. I
prefer Charlie Brooker when he's being incredibly offensive and funny, but
they're really Black Mirror. For those of you who haven't watched it, I would highly recommend watching Black Mirror. The kind of self-contained stories.
You know who Charlie Brooker is?
You'd be surprised. Well, there will be people who don't know his stuff until they kind of talk about it, and they might recognise him. The episode that she's in is The Entire History of You, which is the last episode of Series 1.
Mm-hmm.
They're all on Netflix, incidentally, for those of you who might have Netflix. It's a very good one. She actually plays the kind of... she's the lead female character in it. It was only when I started looking through what Jodie Whittaker had been in, because I saw her face. I've seen her in a few things. I was trying to think, what have I actually seen her in? Because I've never seen Broadchurch. I know she's in it because my mum did as well.
Yeah, it's a mum thing, I think.
Clearly, it's a mum thing.
It's grizzly, but then my mum reads James Patterson books, and they're also incredibly bloody.
Yeah. My mum reads a lot of bloody stuff as well, actually.
I think our mums might be secretly serial killers.
That would explain a lot about us, really, wouldn't it?
It actually does explain a lot of things, actually, about my life.
And mine. Anyway, back to Doctor Who. The way it appeared at the BBC News update thing I got on my phone. I was at work at the time the announcement was. It was about half an hour later that I found out about it. Was that start of Broadchurch. So that's
David Tennant is back as Doctor.
Or Olivia Colman.
Oh yeah.
Because to be fair, the character she played is in every episode. She was there for all of it, so she was very important for it. She's not got huge amounts of films and TV under her belt.
Well,
she's 35.
What they do for Doctor Who, or at least have done.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair though, Peter Capaldi is the difference of if it's an older actor, they're gonna have a lot more.
Yeah, but my mum didn't really know Peter Capaldi. I know because I watched the thick of it. Now, to be fair, that's the only thing I can think of him in.
The other thing that I saw him in, which I knew
unless he's in episode of Poirot, but I've watched those so many times and I've seen so many people in those.
He was a big part in the second series of the BBC drama The Hour, which was an amazing series, and I'm really annoyed it wasn't. They cancelled it. They didn't bring it back for a third series. He played an amazing part in that, and when they made the announcement of when Peter Capaldi was announced, 3 years ago now? No, 4 years ago. 4 years ago when they made the announcement of that he was going to be the new Doctor, I knew he's going to be good because of stuff I'd seen him in. And Jodie Whittaker is a phenomenal actress. She's really good. The stuff I've seen her in, she's been amazing.
Acting's never been Doctor Who's problem.
The writing.
It's the writing that's been the problem.
Yes, that's the key thing here. So, I
have a few tips for Mr. Chibnall.
Go on then.
No women jokes. You have to sell this on she's the Doctor, not the female Doctor. You have to sell it on to no jokes about for being a woman now. I mean, she's a Time Lord. She's a Time Lady, I suppose, now, technically. But, you can't... You have to sell her as a Doctor, not the... This is why Janeway never worked in Star Trek. Because they spent too much time saying she's the female captain. Whereas with Sisko, they never made a point that he's the black captain. He was just the captain and would kick your ass through pretty much anything. It's almost not making a big deal of that she's a woman. Which
is kind of what they need to do a little bit.
Of course, the internet is exploded.
It's a strange situation to be in, though, because on the one hand, we've spoken about this at length, about our thoughts on if there was a female Doctor, and the general thought, the consensus that Sean and I came to when we were in agreement was, we're not against the idea, we're completely in favour of it, if they are right for the role.
And to be fair, they have been losing viewers in the last couple of years, so they need some controversy
to
dispute. Or that's just me being really cynical. About why
part of it comes from the fact of, I think the thing that we agreed on is don't give it to someone
Although I'm
just
frankly
because.
offended that she's white, because BBC is clearly being racist.
Stop it. The key thing is
It's
it
funny,
comes down.
BBC doesn't hire white people anymore. But
Oh, we're going to that. We're going to that thing we talked about last
apparently
week.
ITV have done it as well.
Really?
Yeah.
The key thing of it, just go back to the main point about gender and everything, is if you do, it's a weird situation that the world is in now to have these weird these conversations that go back about 10 or so years or even 5 years. You wouldn't even think we'd be having these conversations about
When
it.
social media became a big thing online.
It's like you said, don't make a big thing of it.
She's
Yes, it's a great landmark that a woman has finally made the role, but don't sort of make that the be-all and end-all of the whole thing. Of course a female could play the Doctor. That's never been in doubt. In fact, they haven't is a decision that they've made for whatever reason they felt. They felt someone was better for the role. But at the same time, you shouldn't give the role to someone just because they're a woman. Because then what you're doing is it's tokenism, almost. It's positive discrimination.
Well, it is. It's not almost, it is.
It is positive discrimination, which doesn't actually help the case exactly. Because what you're saying there is, we are giving the role to you to make something... It's like...
It's arguably patronising.
I'll use it as an example. It's a slightly political one.
Oh god, he's going to mention Trump or Hillary.
Well done, it's Hillary.
Which, to be fair, she's not a human being.
No, it's
in
not
the same way
to do with
Theresa
Trump,
May
though.
and Angela... What is it with female politicians and being weird? Sorry.
It's not to do with Trump.
What? Something about not to do with Trump?
It's Hillary related. It's because during the race for the Democratic nomination, the only person who was standing against Hillary was Bernie Sanders. And Bernie was asked at one point, said, don't you think you should drop out so that the nomination can go to a woman? That's... Well, for one thing, it's not holding women to the same standards, which is exactly what feminism is about. It's about men and women being treated equally. I know there's different opinions on what feminism is.
A long time ago.
But what feminism is men and women being treated equally.
Here is a man telling you what feminism is.
Stop it. Please don't. I'm a
Which
feminist.
means, given the way... No, I won't mention that. That's a bit too risque. I won't mention that. Carry on.
You know I'm a feminist, and I know you are as well.
No, I believe in equal opportunities.
That's what feminism is.
Was.
Is. People might have walked the
Hashtag
definition
take back
of the
feminism.
word.
I'll start a Twitter hashtag. Hashtag... Where's my hash key? There it is. I never use it. It's like
Good
spies
grief.
hashtag. Carry on.
Anyway,
Take...
I'm looking forward to seeing what Jodie Whittaker does, and I'm interested to see what Chris Chibnall does with the role. But at the moment, as Sean and I said just before we started recording, all we can do is speculate. We know that Jodie Whittaker is a good actress. She is very good. She's been nominated for awards. Actually, her first film role, she was nominated for quite a few things.
It doesn't mean anything.
Her first film role was Venus in 2006. She was nominated for the ALF Award for British Newcomer of the Year, nominated for the British Independent Film Award for Most Promising Newcomer on Screen, and she was nominated for the Satellite Award for Best Actress in a Motion Picture Comedy or Musical.
Doctor Who musical episodes. Make it happen.
They've always talked about it.
I would love that.
They've talked about it.
I want to hear a Dalek sing.
Oh god, it'd be auto-tuned to hell.
So it's the most modern music. Yeah, that joke failed.
I really want to see what she does with it. Generally, I just want to see what they do with the new Doctor. That's the exciting moment. It's kind of, what's this new Doctor going to be like? Because even then, it's the great thing with actors is actors generally, if they're a good actor, can be different people.
That's kind of the point, isn't it?
That's kind of the point of a good actor. You can be anything. Your personality can be whatever you like. So at the moment, we know who's going to be playing it, which is going to be interesting, because now we know what they're going to look like. We don't quite know what the personality is going to be. We don't know how the writing is going to be. We have no idea what the writing is going to be, because we've not seen any episodes with...
Sorry, I'm just solving that plot thread.
Thank you. We have no idea what Chris Chibnall's going to be like writing as the lead writer for Doctor Who. He's written episodes.
Yeah, but so did Stephen Moffat write episodes. We know how well that ended.
Yeah, and even then it's completely different as well when you're writing for a Doctor that you are kind of the lead writer of. I mean, as we can see here, the writing of Moffat for Smith and Capaldi is very different when he was writing for Tennant or Eccleston.
Or Clara.
Or Clara, yes. But she was the Doctor.
She practically was at one point.
Well, to be fair, she said she was on a number of occasions. Yeah, all we can do is speculate. To be fair, as those of you who might listen know, I'm just glad it wasn't the person that everyone thought it was going to be.
Roger Federer should have... I did see on Twitter someone said Roger Federer should have been the Doctor. Sorry, I'm still on my Fred Federer high here.
You don't even watch tennis. That's the weird thing.
More dull than cricket. No one gets set alight in cricket or tennis.
No, but generally, are you happy with the announcement?
Because we're now going to have 8 months of those dirty misogynists online don't like for the next 8 months you're going to get it non-stop.
Yeah, but that's not the decision. That's the backlash against it.
And that's usually not people complaining. That's people complaining about when they think people are going to complain.
Yeah, it's weird that, isn't it?
It's like you see a few tweets, but so what? People are entitled to their opinion. If you don't agree with it, piss off. But now you're going to have 8 months of non-stop. Oh, it's just going to be tedious.
At the same time, what's the way to solve that?
There is culling of population.
There isn't really a way to kind of... I mean, the only way to avoid that is you do something to avoid getting that kind of reaction in the first place.
Or journalists in massive quotation marks.
But as we know, that generally it's media, and I'm using that in broad terms of news outlets and social media and things like that, create a stir.
There's a difference these days between social
media. It makes
media
news.
And news outlets. But you get one side, people who don't like it, fine. Then you get the real smug arseholes. The real smug who are like, well, I'm okay with it. Most of them are male, usually. I will point this out. Most of them are male, who are very smug because they're okay with it. Unlike those...
Well, why should they have a problem with it?
Unlike those dirty misogynists who don't like it. You saw what happened with Ghostbusters? That's another shit still that happened completely. That was also Sony actively aggravating that as well.
Yeah, Sony, to be fair, the new Ghostbusters film, from what I've heard about, isn't a good film generally.
And I think they knew, which is why they advertised it that way. Hey, let's go back to the Hillary thing. If you don't vote for Hillary, you're a misogynist. Come vote for us, please, and that worked out well for you.
Anyway,
but yeah, that's what I'm not looking forward to.
I'm very interested to see
8 months of all men are evil, and
I'm hoping it doesn't.
It's already happened. And
I know
the Guardian's got an article on the go. The Washington Post, the Huffington Post, they're already on it.
Independent.
They like that.
To be fair, Independent will put out 2 different articles pointing with 2 completely different viewpoints, which seems to be what the Independent does nowadays.
It's an interesting way of doing it, but those
it's really weird.
It's probably got more journalist integrity than the Guardian and Huffington Post put together.
It's not just. It's just bizarre. It's sort of weird. It's
just become politicised to the point of you sit there going, they cast. You go, did they cast it or? Because in the back of my mind, like, did they cast it because she was good or because their viewing figures are going down and they need a shitstorm to get it back up again? Which we'll see in the new season if they do get more ratings, how long it lasts.
Usually, first episodes tend to do quite well because people are tuning in to see who the new Doctor is anyway.
Oh. But how long that lasts?
But you're right. I mean, it's my speculation of why we are living in a work of fiction now. 2016 was the year
Damn
the
it, you stole
viewing
the idea
figures.
of one of my books.
2016 was the year the viewing figures went down. The writers went, "We need to add some controversy." And so you had most
Controversy.
of-
Sean Connery believes in controversy.
Controversy. Yes.
Which my opinion. Still waiting for the female Bond.
That sort of thing they've been speculating about.
That could be
every now and
interesting if
again.
they did a female Bond set in the 60s. Now, that would be interesting. Which they've already done. It's called Kate Archer from the No One Lives Forever games. Which is basically that, a female James Bond in the 60s.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I mean, if you want to go a bit further back than that, the Agent Peggy Carter is set in 40s and 50s, a
Yeah.
Marvel TV series.
Oh, Marvel, there's an interesting... talking about Marvel comics, they're actually right is the generous term. Their comics, and yeah. If you want to ever see how to do minority characters wrong, look no further than modern day Marvel comics.
The films are all good.
The films aren't written by the people. It's because the films have actual writers, not people who got hired because they have a Tumblr blog.
Yes, that's the difference of a TV.
And I
writer.
would say the Marvel films are written. In the same way the new Star Wars films are written. But yeah, they do a fucking better job. Not that's hard. Look no.
So ignoring trying to.
No, I will not. I am going to bitch about this for 10 minutes because I need some. No, don't. I'm joking. I will.
Trying to ignore the backlash that's going to come about of it, what do you think of the casting decision?
See what can I say? Why
I
is she
don't know.
wearing a hoodie? Well, that's my dislike of hoodies in general, but that's just me being me.
I'm willing to bet that's not going to be her
Hope
actual
it's not.
outfit.
Do we get a new TARDIS? Because I want a new TARDIS. I don't like the current TARDIS. It's kind of just.
We might.
It's empty.
I mean,
I still like Matt Smith's original TARDIS.
oh, the math that was huge.
Awesome. It reminded me of the Eighth Doctor's TARDIS from the film, which is the only good thing about that film. But I want a TARDIS like that.
They might get a new one. Depends how much of a clean slate they're working with, really. I would have thought so because they seem to go with brand new ones in series.
Yeah.
I mean, Eccleston and Tennant had the same ones. Matt Smith
Then
had
Tennant
two
broke
different-
everything when he regenerated.
Yeah, Matt Smith has had two different TARDISes now. He had the TARDIS for essentially when the Ponds were the companions, and then when he got Clara in the Snowmen, he had a new TARDIS for that one, which he kept. And Capaldi's kept the same interior of that TARDIS since. So he might have a brand new interior.
I do want a new TARDIS. Getting fed up with the new one's just empty. Feels to have power and now.
It's very dark as well.
Yeah,
No, as in literally the lighting.
I like.
It's
Matt
a very
Smith's
dark
TARDIS.
TARDIS.
All the Eighth Doctor's TARDIS in the film. That was awesome TARDIS. They had a movie budget to work with then. Budget and I don't know what budget that film even was. I don't suspect much. But yeah,
Is this where we look it up?
if you want. What else can you really say? You've got 8 months now of virulent discourse and people getting upset about other people. It's funny, they get upset about other people getting upset. I'm like, but you're getting upset, so why is your being upset allowed? They're upset not being allowed. Like, how does that work? I want the leaps in logic where that works. Another comment I saw online which was brilliant. I was like, oh, finally, young girls can watch
$5
Doctor.
million.
I don't know how much that was at the time compared to other films.
Well, to be fair, it was kind of a made-for-TV film,
Yeah.
so
I wouldn't-
Fox put up half of that.
Yeah, it's dumping Fox and BBC, wasn't it?
Yeah, BBC Television contributed $300,000,
Couple.
and the remaining $2.2 million was split between BBC Worldwide and Universal.
Universal. Yeah, my new favourite comment online was now young girls can watch Doctor Who. I went, because the Doctor being male means they couldn't before. And isn't that just the same problem you have now with male people getting upset? People just need a fucking kick in the head sometimes.
I think the phrase is double standards.
You argue that's been a problem with this thing for a long time.
I know it's been a long
Punching
time.
the man's fine, punch the woman's the most evil thing you could do, where it comes to mind. And being a man and punching a woman is wrong, whereas if a woman punches a man, that's you go girl.
It's a strange situation we find ourselves in.
That's strange. Well, other than that,
And of course, the two of us are sitting here talking about
us
this.
two white men here who
We're two white men
on
addressing
our
the situation.
broadband
here.
internet know what oppression is like. Let me tell you.
We can go even further than that by saying we're two white heterosexual
Whoa,
men.
whoa, whoa! You assuming stuff about my sexuality? How dare you? I'm gonna write an angry Tumblr post about you.
You've never quantified it.
My triggering. Just because it doesn't mean it's not. I have to say everything to you. God,
know.
what's wrong with you? You fucking bigot.
Wow.
I never knew you were like this. You voted for Trump, didn't you? You disgust me.
How can I vote for Trump? I live in the UK.
That wouldn't stop people online getting angry about that as well.
No, I know. it
Like,
wouldn't
like
stop
I'm in
people.
the UK. Me getting making comments about Trump means nothing to you. I can't vote. Now Brexit,
I can't do anything
vote
about
in.
the situation. I can talk about it.
Brexit. Now that I can vote in.
I did vote in.
But yeah, I've talked about Brexit and why that happened, and why Trump happened as well, because it's probably the same reason.
Well, that's another video for another time.
Yeah, but Doctor Who, we'll see where this goes.
To be fair, we won't. The first time we're going to see about it is when she first appears on screen as the Doctor,
Yes.
with Chris Chibnall writing, which will be when Capaldi regenerates into her at Christmas.
Into her.
Stop it.
Sorry, there can be a lot of these jokes now.
This is part of the problem.
I'm part of the problem. Ow! No, you're part of the problem. My double triggering. I triggered myself. I'm not sure that's even possible.
Yeah, that's literally all we can say about it.
I can bitch
She's a-
more about Twitter. I'm sure there's stuff on Disco and Twitter. Let's see.
No, that's not. That's different.
Let's go.
I mean, you've not seen her in anything.
I literally big a video went, I don't know who that is.
I didn't recognise her name,
Joe Jimno
But-
went,
which is telling because but to be fair, at the same time, you could have mentioned any of the names previously of a lot of the previous ones, and most people would have gone who.
yeah. It's
Not in the jokey Doctor Who way, but in
I see.
terms of I've no idea who that is. My friend, a friend of mine, actually texted me after the announcement was made, saying he knew that they were announcing who it was today, but he doesn't have the internet.
good.
So he
Consider
texted me to
yourself
say,
lucky.
I don't have on the internet. Can you tell me who the new Doctor is? And I said, Jodie Whittaker. The reply I got was, who? And a part of me was going to say, I could have named numerous actors, and you could have equally replied, who to any of them. If I'd said some of the other names that were being mentioned, a lot of them are not household names, as we talked about. That generally, those are the names that a lot of the time they tend to pick for the Doctor. Despite the speculation of, Tilda Swinton and things like that. Of course, they're not going to pick big names like that. Because then what you have is the star themselves is the bigger name than the Doctor. In some way. That's why you don't get big names attached to things like that. And occasionally you do get TV stars who join a TV series. Usually it's a very high-budget TV series as well. That's why it's like Netflix or HBO. They've got huge amounts of money they can pour into their projects. The BBC will do that stuff for big series things, but very often they'll be TV actors. Or those people who will be in films, but they won't be mega-budget films, which a lot of the big names tend to be for, like Tom Hiddleston, Eddie Redmayne, Benedict Cumberbatch. These are people who they might go to TV stuff, because they will do TV acting stuff, but those will be like 5-part dramas and things like that for the BBC. They tend to be the seasonal things. Usually around Christmas time you'll see them, or Easter, and they're the big budget ones. Doctor Who, they might appear in an episode of. You won't get them attached long term, though, as like the Doctor or the companion. Whilst it would be nice in some cases, because they're very good actors, and I'd like to see what they do with it. But as we said, the key problem the Doctor Who's had has never been the casting.
No, and people say on Twitter, what will make the Doctor is not who plays it, who writes it.
It's who writes it.
Which raised me a question I saw on Twitter just a long time ago. I saw this online. I don't think it was on Twitter. Someone came about, apparently Chris Chibnall doesn't like female characters or something. I went, really? I don't know what he's written. If
Yeah, that's a thing I saw
true,
a while ago.
I was
Actually. It was
okay, I don't know what else he's written. He's written some Doctor Who, but I don't know
I
if they
remember
truth that or not.
We spoke about this briefly. I saw this was months ago when Capaldi was announced he was leaving, and there was all the speculation of who it was going to be very early on. There was an article, or someone made a suggestion that Chibnall's not a big supporter of the idea of a female Doctor, which is telling now, isn't it?
Yeah, but how much say do you reckon? Because I argue BBC higher ups get the final say
It's difficult to say
because
exactly
it comes down to who has the money. They get the final say in show
Part of
business.
it is going to be the casting director. So the casting director of Doctor Who is
He's quickly looking up.
I do know her name.
Oh, it's a her.
But-
No, sorry.
The casting. To be fair, the casting director of it's not. It's a him.
Oh, to him.
It's Andy Pryor. That's who it is. Sorry, Andy Pryor. He's been the casting director of Doctor Who since New Who, as it's known, started. He's been the casting director since the new series came back. He's been attached to the series. He's been attached to Doctor Who since it started. His casting's been pretty on the ball.
Yeah.
I mean, we've never had one where we thought...
We've never had any acting that's been maybe a child, but they're child actors. They are very rarely good.
Child acting's it's a difficult thing to do anyway.
Very rarely.
They're children.
It's pretty, well, the children don't know what they're doing, really. And also, writing children's hard. Writing too realistic, they are just incredibly irritating. But you can't write them like adults either, because that gets weird when children act like adults.
Yeah.
But I say none of the acting has been brilliant either. But it's not this TV. You're not going to get.
It's the writing that's the catch
the
causes it to
writing
go bad. I mean, that's the main thing. I've also seen some of my friends here on Facebook. Some of them are saying we had high hopes for Capaldi.
Yeah, I wanted Capaldi to be.
But the writing let us down, because that's what we found as well. I mean, this series, the writing's been good, but it plateaued. It's not nothing standout.
It's been average this season, not nothing.
If we look back at his previous ones, we've always had episodes that were god awful.
Never Forget Love and Monsters. That wasn't Moffat, but Never Forget Love and Monsters.
No, I mean we had
or Daleks in Manhattan, or Fear Her's another crap episode.
I like Fear Her.
I don't. A lot of people I found online don't either. Although I will admit their Olympic logo was better.
That's true.
So I can credit for that. And but yeah, we'll see where this goes.
Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. I mean, there's not got much else for us to say other than we're interested to see where it goes.
More about people, but I decided not to. I'm going to say that after the recording.
Of the two of us, I'm the only one who's seen her acting and anything, and I've only seen her acting in Black Mirror.
I haven't seen it. I could ask Mum about. It took Mum, who watches Broadchurch, to go, oh yeah, she was in that.
Yeah, my mum.
I was like, she's in Broadchurch, I've heard. You watched that, you must know who she is.
Would you like Mum's thoughts? Because I've called her, obviously.
Mum's thoughts were great. Mum's thoughts were.
No, Mum's. She remembered her from Broadchurch. Took her a moment to remember she was in it, because in Broadchurch she's not blonde, whereas in the trailer she was. So it took a moment for Mum to recognise her.
Is she naturally blonde, or?
I don't know. Because when I saw her in Black Mirror, she was blonde.
No, it might be. I'd have to say there are very few Doctor Who's wear wigs, except for Matt Smith. That's because he shaved his head in real life.
Yeah, and that was only for his last episode.
Yeah, and that was a joke of, but they generally might style their hair differently, but it's generally the right
I've seen her with dark brown hair as well in some photos from some kind of awards do.
Yeah,
she had dark brown hair, so I'm not sure what her natural hair colour is. It's weird, that, isn't it? Men don't tend to have to dye their hair for parts quite so often as women.
Or shave certain parts of parts either. That's usually only on HBO. Possibly Netflix. I don't know about Netflix rules. Possibly Netflix has even less restrictions because they're on the internet. They can literally do whatever the fuck they like.
They've got a lot more leeway.
Yeah, they're on the internet. There is really no... Although HBO's cable, that has no... At least not as much restriction as in America, anyway.
There's some limits.
There is probably still stuff you can't show, but it's not as much as there is on non-cable.
It's not quite the same, no.
Yeah, Netflix didn't do what the fuck they like.
Yeah, because the key thing with stuff streaming directly to the internet, not onto actual television, is you don't need to worry about sort of complaints from viewers.
Oh, you'll get complaints, but there'll be more.
Yeah, but in terms of people saying it was on at this hour,
there's no one with any legal
it's whenever you want it streamed.
There's no one with any legal weight to throw around about suing your ass for something because they're online. They do something like. But yeah, I haven't seen her anything, so I can't comment on her acting. Even then, it doesn't mean anything. Good actors can turn in crap performances. It happens.
Yes.
Usually because of bad writing. And whether Chibnall doesn't like female characters, we'll find out.
It'd be weird. I find it weird if he doesn't, though, because
I saw online apparently things he's written. I don't really know what he's written. Doctor Who or otherwise people overreact online when it comes to female characters anyway, so it's probably hyperbole. A female character can act correctly, and that's usually what causes people to freak the fuck out online.
I mean, given that she's credited as a good actor, she's worked with him on Broadchurch, and Broadchurch also was thought to be one of the best things on television, and made Olivia Colman a household name and a big star as well, and showed her off brilliantly. It would suggest that the comments, I don't know, taken out of context or something? I don't know exactly, because I don't know quite the origins of the story in the first place.
I don't know where it came from. Online going, oh look, it won't be you because it's Christian.
I remember reading it as well. We don't quite know the origins of it.
Has he done something bad I haven't heard of? Because I don't know what he's written other than Doctor Who and apparently Broadchurch. That would designate that reaction from someone.
I mean, I know Moffat faced a lot of backlash for a lot of his sort of female portrayals.
Well, let's go through the list. You have River Song was annoying because although I like Alex Kingston, she's funny, but she does take over the show after a while.
River Song, in many ways, was essentially setting the ground for female Doctor.
Yeah, and slowly got on my wick. And she's always in it as well.
You had Amy.
Well, it's Karen Gillan, who's a redhead, so she's okay by default.
Let's look
and
at
Scottish,
character.
and redhead,
Hang
and
on.
redhead,
We're
and
not-
Scottish. So that's
True, but we're looking at the character here from the writing
Amy
perspective.
Pond. Other than being a kissogram, which I'm surprised I got away with. I'm surprised I got away with that. I like Amy and Rory together.
They were good together.
They were great together. Amy,
I'm more looking at how Moffat wrote the character in
I
terms
can't go
of
back.
portrayal of women.
Wasn't offensive. Okay, I'm a man, so I know what's offensive.
To be fair, the story they did with Amy, though, at the same time is, at least certainly quite early on, she never really made her mind up about who she was in love with, Rory or the Doctor. I mean, in the first part, it's the eve of her wedding, and she decides to try and get off with the Doctor. Which I wouldn't say is particularly sort of... Yay. Exactly. I mean, even then, it was sort of a toing and froing, because even when they were travelling together with the Dream Lord sequence, it was the whole thing of she has to choose which of the two, what's the real world, her life with Rory or her life with the Doctor. Turns out they were both a dream. Who knew?
Boom! Sorry, that's my Inception noise too.
The whole nature of Amy's character, in a lot of ways, was sort of the girl who has to make up her mind between who does she love, in some ways. Clara... Yeah, you're not a big fan of Clara.
She was just too perfect.
Clara's another example, though, of the situation that Modern Who's done a lot of, which
Actually,
is the
Moffat,
companion...
female Moffat character I like, and this is getting really out, kind of old school. Remember the Empty Child? What's her
Yes.
name? Nancy.
Nancy!
I like Nancy, especially with the revelation spoiler for the episode with that it was her son.
I think it's a little late for spoilers. The
Yeah,
episode's
but-
how many years old?
Yeah, I know, but I liked Nancy. She had spirit.
Nancy's a great character. She's awesome, and the revelation that she's the mum as well
Yeah,
is
it's
amazing.
great, and they have all
Because
the
you don't
kids.
see it. You don't actually see it
No,
coming.
she's so young. You're like, oh, okay, well, I hope the actress will. She'll seem young, or older than the rest of the kids, but
Yeah,
you know, there's Nancy.
that's a big one. But yeah, Clara is another example of the modern companions falling in love.
Rose started that. Actually, you could argue Sarah Jane started that, but that's not accurate entirely.
Yeah.
It
But
wasn't
it-
such a big thing in the old days.
No, it's the latest in a long line of essentially companions trailing after the Doctor, going, "Oh, Doctor," sort of lovelorn a little bit.
Well, you could argue there is a degree of attraction to, you know, the mysterious man who has a spaceship
Oh, yeah, I
and
can
go anywhere.
completely understand it. This isn't
Yeah, it doesn't have to
criticising
be
premise.
romantic. There's just an infatuation, or at least with his, you know, it's an amazing idea. Like, I can go anywhere I want. Anyone would probably take a couple of trips to the TARDIS to go see things, whether it be history of the future or whatever.
You can completely understand the infatuation and that thing. I mean, as you said, it's the mysterious stranger who takes you to amazing, wonderful places that no one else can
tries
ever
to get
compare
you
you
killed on
to.
frequent occasions, but that's the small point of the contract.
It's the same reason people go on a roller coaster in that way. It's
They don't usually kill you quite as with the.
no, I will admit that, but the whole point of it is it's a thrill.
Yeah, it's a thrill.
It's exciting, because particularly if you survive.
A lot of run-ins, just be in good shape.
It's thrilling, it's exciting, you can completely understand there would be some kind of level of infatuation.
No.
The trouble is when you then make that sort of the core of the character a lot of the time.
No. I didn't even hate Rose in Eccleston's run. I just like her in Tennant's run, but I didn't dislike her in Eccleston's run. Even like the first episode, where you see Rose's everyday life.
Yeah.
And then, you know, Chris Regan shows up and you can see why she would go with him, you know. It's council estate or space.
Yeah,
That's your choice. You do feel bad for Mickey though for that entire series.
poor Mickey.
He got arrested at one point, didn't he?
Yeah,
Man, now
he was arrested because they thought he was involved in Rose's
like,
disappearance.
that's being put upon by Being towards the end of that series, it was when after the Doctor sent her back, she then completely ignored Mickey and must go back, completely ignoring Mickey and her own
Yeah.
mother. Like, that's being kind of a bit of a cow. These people who, you know, you disappear for however long, no idea where you are.
To be fair, equally though, of course, when she came back, she didn't realise how long she'd been gone for.
Yeah. That's probably
It's the classic
that's also
situation
probably
of the Doctor got the numbers slightly wrong.
Or the TARDIS's fault.
Hadn't been 6 hours, it'd been 6 months.
But, you know, so there is that kind of, they're happy to see you and all you can talk about is the Doctor.
Yeah.
Like, you
Um,
can understand why there is some resentment there.
We'll see. Yeah.
Interesting.
Fundamentally, we're always going to boil down to the key thing of we'll see. We don't know how it's going to go exactly because good actors can only make a certain amount of job if it's bad writing. Let's hope it's good writing to show up.
Something else we haven't talked about: companion, male or female.
I was having a lengthy discussion.
Because traditionally it's been female, but will they have two females, or will they swap it and have the male be the companion? Which has happened.
I like what we've had with this most recent run of more than one companion.
I like
Two.
more than one companion, but
Two
it's a
companions.
lot
It
of
creates a better
companions
dynamic.
produced in one episode. You've got a new Doctor, two new companions.
They've done it before. Episode 1, the very first one, you had 3. You had Susan.
Yeah,
And
those episodes also are a lot fucking longer.
I admit, yes, that's also true.
And
but
slow
still.
if you go back and watch them. They are incredibly slow.
Oh god, yes they are. That's because they were a lot longer.
Yeah.
I'm not against the idea of having. We've talked about this. Having more than one companion is fun. I like it because it adds a different dynamic to the show, which I find more appealing.
Do your companions not human?
Yes. Well, we've had that with
As a
Nardole.
kind of Nardole grew on me last season.
Non-human companions.
Non-human
We used to. K9.
Okay, I
All right, maybe not actually K9
or
itself.
another
but,
model of K9 you can pick up somewhere.
Yeah.
But yeah, I
a
would always
non-human
go back.
companion is fun.
Oh, not human. That could be interesting. Yeah, you need your seeing character, apparently.
Or, if you do have a companion,
Or don't
only
have,
the
or
one.
don't have a companion for this series, or at least not a regular companion.
yeah, that's not.
Just do the kind of this new companion every episode. What Tom Baker liked doing.
That'd
Before,
work because David Tennant did that for his technically last
before he
season,
got
the one with
Leela
all the
Force
specials. Or alternatively, rather than if you are going to go with the companion idea, don't go for the what seems to be the staple of New Who in terms of the lovelorn companion. Go for someone who's just as capable as the Doctor,
then you run.
the sort of Romana type thing.
Bring Romana back. Well, she technically was-
That relationship. Do you know what I mean?
Well, okay, which Romana are we going by? 'Cause there's two very different relationships there, depending on which Romana we go by.
First one.
Oh, the first one's hilarious. My favourite bit of dialogue between him and Romana as well.
What the Fred bit?
Ah?
What when she says her name and she says I'm going to call this either that or Fred.
Yeah, it's the whole idea. By the time I've shouted that out, you'll probably be dead. Either that or Fred. Fine, call me Fred. Good. Come on, Romana.
Right, like that.
What a dick. No, a dick.
I like that relationship, and it's a very different one as well because
Yeah.
it's playing two people as kind of equals. It's kind of a who can they're trying to best each other, which is a good relationship to have, and it's a fun relationship as well. It's many ways. Oddly enough, the closest thing you can find to that kind of relationship is actually the Doctor Donna,
Yeah.
because they had that kind of relationship.
I
Go
like
relationship
Donna.
where very strictly they're mates,
I like
strictly
Donna.
platonic.
I like
I'd like to see a platonic relationship for once without a
But
hint
this
of
is
romance.
fiction! Even if it is, the fans will make it.
Yeah, but then that's the fans coming up with fan fiction stuff. I mean, to be fair, part of me liked that with what we've had with the last series. Because the whole thing with Bill is there was never anything that would ever happen there. And that made it fun. They're mates. But at the same time, what you've got there is you have the Doctor who's the teacher, the tutor. He's teaching Bill all throughout this.
To make the best chips you could ever have.
And he's teaching her about all these great, wonderful things as a teacher, which works really well. I want to see an interesting one where they're sort of on par with one another. That's what I would find interesting. Just from a writing perspective, I find that more interesting to watch.
Yeah,
It's sort of
rather
it's a debate. It's two people, both very skilled at what they're doing, and the two of them together, they are brilliant. But they can bicker and argue. And fundamentally they kind of need each other. Sort of Holmes-Watson type thing a little bit.
There's homoerotic in a nutshell.
It is very true. And weirdly enough, Holmes and Watson's always very much got the second billing. He's just as important as Holmes in many ways.
Well, he's the epitome of the put-upon assistant.
He is. The thing is, he's not in many ways, though, because Holmes needs Watson.
You
just
just go, poor Watson. Having to put
You
up,
do
having to
pity
put up with that
Watson,
prick,
admittedly.
that drug-addled
pity
prick.
Watson, but fundamentally, Holmes does need Watson. And Watson is just as capable of is a very skilled detective in his own right as well. He learns a lot from Holmes, admittedly. But yes, that's what essentially what we've gone here. Is
Martin
what is
Freeman's new companion.
That would be interesting.
Playing what? Benedict Cumberbatch can be the Master. After Charles
Sherlock
Dance,
is
and then
the
after
Master.
who's the second one we want him for the Master? After Charles Dance.
After Charles Dance.
Yes, for our list of the Masters. It's Charles Dance, opposite Charles Dance playing the Doctor.
You said John Sim again, didn't you?
I can't remember who he said. It's a couple of weeks
We
ago.
only said it last week,
Yeah.
or the week before.
But then Benedict Cumberbatch with Martin Freeman as the assistant, Mr. Watson. The epitome of Watson. Oh, bring Ace back! I like Ace!
Ace is brilliant.
One, she like blowing shit up, and I can relate to that. She beat a Dalek with a baseball bat.
That was a good episode.
I liked Ace. She was... Again, it wasn't really, it was more of a... That's really cute, the Ace and the Doctor.
Well, the classic Who never had a sort of any kind of romantic angle,
No.
even sort of one-sided a lot of the time. Because the thing is, fundamentally, the companions a lot of the time found the Doctor incredibly frustrating and annoying.
He's in a long way. He's the kind of person... If you're me, he'll be... Yeah, Sherlock Holmes, he'll be really irritating to be around long term. And you just want to punch him in the face. Or punch her in the face. But you can't do that. She's a woman. She's delicate. Got to protect them.
I think we've kind of we've gone from what our thoughts are, which fundamentally are let's hope the writing's good.
Which is a big hope given New Who.
It is a big hope, but fundamentally, as we've said, neither of us have an issue with the casting.
No.
We're very hopeful for the casting. I like the casting decision. She's a very good actress, and I want to see how she does, and I'm really hopeful for it as well. But fundamentally, it's going to come down to how good the writing is. Let's just hope that's good. I'm really glad that... A part of me, though, I'm repeating myself here now.
We've done that before as well.
I know, because I'm trying to summarise. I'm hoping that they made the decision based on because she's right for the part, not just because she's a woman.
Viewing figures are down, we need to get that going again.
If they've done it for that, I will be upset. Because making the decision purely on that thing, although it does send a big message, it's not sending the right message because it's tokenism, it's positive discrimination, which doesn't help the situation. At the same time, we will never know.
Well, no, unless you
It'll be
there,
years before.
You will never know.
Yeah, it'll be a long time before we find out the other ones who were seen for the role and things like that. It's like Ron Moody admitted years later that he was offered the role of the Doctor and turned it down.
Oh, Ron Moody been awesome.
We wouldn't have had John Pertwee then, it would have been Ron Moody instead of John Pertwee.
That's an interesting idea. There's an alternate history.
There are numerous actors who have turned the role down. But again, you only hear about that a lot later. It's years down the line when you hear about it usually. That various people who were cast for the audition for the role were asked if they wanted it.
Nope. And then I'd rather
And they
not.
turned it down. Or they were unsuccessful at the audition possibly as well. They thought
Or they
they're
were
not
busy.
right. Or they were busy, yeah. Sometimes it's the case of they were offered it but they couldn't.
Because they were scheduled into something else.
I mean, Capaldi had to leave the Musketeers in order to do Doctor Who, which is why Cardinal Richelieu was killed off between season 1 and season 2. Because he was actually filming it when he got the casting call, when he was told he got the role. It was a voicemail. His agent called him to call him back.
We were getting that by voicemail. Oh, that's good.
Well, no, that's the thing. Is his agent told I think they were filming in Prague or somewhere, and his agent had called him, but he was filming, so he missed the call in it. And obviously, he called back, and his agent opened with the words "Hello, Doctor."
So I didn't get the part of what you're saying. I need a doctor because I'm about to have a heart attack. How will I feed my family now? Yeah, we'll see.
We'll see.
New companion. And all the arguments of people saying, don't sexualise the Doctor. I mean, yeah, because the female fans have never done that. And, but it's fine when they do it. We'll see what they do.
Let's try and avoid the double standards rants here.
No, well, it needs to be called out.
It does need to be called out. You're right. I'm just hoping we won't become a regular feature of when the new series
unless
comes
something
in.
pisses me off, and no, it won't. And to be fair, that hasn't really annoyed me. Well, it has, but it's not the casting that's annoyed me.
It's the reaction.
People. It's the people that have annoyed me. But we'll see what will happen. I'm still waiting for the next female Optimus Prime. Go on, Transform. First female Optimus Prime. What, do Transformers even have genders? If so, why? They don't.
Yes, technically they do.
We'll save that for Friday. You can talk. You explain to me on Friday.
Yeah, okay. So, remember the question and ask me then.
Why did you write it down? I haven't got a pen. Fuck. Remember it. You
Have
remember
a phone, type it out, you're on a computer.
Oh, but I've got my hashtag campaign going. I'll remember. If not, fuck it.
So, the next time you'll hear from us on Doctor Who related stuff will be...
Not Christmas.
No, it won't be Christmas because we never do Christmas. It'll be next year.
His union doesn't let me.
Oh, my mum.
Yeah, your mum. I'm not messing with your mum.
No, you're definitely not.
She's a serial killer. We've established this already.
She's not a serial killer. She's just got a thing for...
She hasn't been found guilty in a court of law yet, so you can't say that.
Anyway, join us next year.
Hi, Alex's mum. If she's even listening to this.
She does occasionally listen to it. She won't like the fact and she also won't like the fact you've been swearing.
Sorry, that's me tapping my wrist.
Okay. So, join us whenever for the next instalment of our Doctor Who thoughts. But other than that... Oh, and of course, join us tomorrow for when we speculate on who the new Doctor is.
That's going to be interesting.
Yeah, this is...
Time travel!
We're speculating on who it is even though we've just announced it.
Yeah.
The joys of recording on a Friday. And
I'm going to be sitting there listening to editing. What are these idiots talking about? That moron. We're done now, I think.
Join us then.